So we do indeed have Spicy Phoenix. It is indeed one of the 5.0s, and we picked it off of Magic the Gathering's website. And I also found, I think it was this one. If it wasn't this one, someone's made a slight update. I saw one on Twitter as well. So we have both variations here. And we're going to just take this one into battle. Now, with Mill that we've played relatively recently, we saw the power of Murktide. We know that Murktide screws up Red Prison to some degree as well. Murktide is the direction Prowess is going as well. I think in a weird vacuum of looking at the most popular cards, a lot of people look at Lurrus, they see Ragavan, and no one talks about Murktide. Isn't it kind of interesting? Sure, in certain play groups and all that, they're probably like loving this card, but not a lot of people talk about Murktide. Murktide's huge. Murktide is difficult to get rid of. Murktide is the big brother to that Drake that we saw that's a 2/4 and then grows. It's the big brother to Stormwing. It's the dragon. What's interesting is that red is typically known for dragons, and it's a blue dragon that's making probably the biggest splashes in Modern. That being said, there's red dragons making splashes in Standard, so at least the red is getting its nod somewhere in formats for the dragon archetype. That being put aside, though, this is going to be an Izzet Phoenix list splashing, faithful, mending, and prismatic ending, making it a Jeskai Phoenix list. Now, what's really cool, and what I appreciate, is that this is one of the lists that has kind of shown back up. Phoenix took a big hit with the banning of Faithless Looting, along with other variations of decks that used Faithless Looting, Goryo's Vengeance, stuff like that. But Phoenix seemed to not die. Now, one thing that I wanted in the list, but we don't find here, instead we have Oxes and maybe Otherworldly or Maximize Velocity, is I would like to see Thing in the Ice. Now, Thing in the Ice might not make much sense, though, because when you bounce everything, everything comes back down quickly because the mana curve is so small. The mana curve is so small that this 19 one-drop deck, I'm leaving Prismatic Ending out of that, 19, nearly 20, is still running Chalice of the Void. If you're not convinced that Red Prison can do something with Chalice of the Void, you're living under a rock. Blue-White Control is playing Chalice of the Void. What are we doing, though, with our one-drops? Let's not care about Chalice. Let's not care about Thing in the Ice. We're trying to put Phoenix in the yard, cast multiple spells here. Once we get to cast multiple spells, if you're not familiar, you bring this back. It's 3 spells. Back comes the Phoenix. In it comes Flying and Haste, Evasive and Aggressive, and hits your opponent. You have Lightning Bolts for reach. You have Oxes and Dragons to kind of give you this big top end that sometimes Phoenix didn't have. Anger of the Gods isn't going to be played right now. It's going to be Furies, so these are going to go right back to the graveyard. And if your opponents are running Graveyard Hate, what I love about this list over Esper Reanimator and other Reanimator lists, which, by the way, are some of my favorites out there, is that Phoenix can just be cast and throw it at your opponent. If it dies just like any other creature that would have died and not been reanimated. And you've got Lightning Bolt as reach, not to mention that you can cast a Murktide. It's just not very big at that point. You can cast Ox, so you can play through the hate of the graveyard. Sideboard-wise, we've got Paths. I like to see Path here. I know we have the Prismatic Endings. I prefer to have Path every now and then because it's just instant speed matters. Killing something big like a Murktide matters. It's cool. We have a Hermit here that I have no idea what it does, other than I know it's like a Negate or Mana Leak Hermit or something like that. We'll get into that when we play the game. Alpine Moon for Tron. Probably just Tron. Chalice in here for who knows what, Crashing Footfalls or other things. Wear and Tear's in here because you're red and white. It's always good. Flusterstorm's making a case in Modern. Lava Dart extra number 2 here. And a bunch of Surgicals because you can't play Rest in Peace. And you really don't want to be exiling graveyards of your own because of Arclight Phoenix. One Hallowed Fountain, one Sacred Foundry. Otherwise, it's Izzet through and through. Let's play some Magic. Woo. It's going to be an interesting one. Been a little while since we played the Phoenix stuff. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's get this kicked off. Let's have some fun. Let's see if we can go 3-2 or better. I'm feeling a 4-1. 4-1 losing the second match. That's my prediction. Because Uncle DB's not here. And Uncle DB is our prediction wizard. Where are you at, Uncle DB? Drive up the price on region. I'm sitting on a copy. I think this is going to just slowly climb in price. It's the delve creature you want that gets bigger, evasive, grows even more later as well. That's the crazy thing. I think the text could have stopped at right here. Murktide Regent enters the battlefield with counters equal to the instant sorceries. But the second part here, whenever an instant sorcery card leaves your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Murktide. What's interesting, it says it just leaves your graveyard. So things like Flashback, I think, should work. So this would grow it. Things like a Snapcaster could potentially work. So you could Bolt, Snap, Bolt, and grow Murktide. There's a lot of weird things that I think would work. You could even play like Relic. Just saying. All right, let's get things kicked off, though. Got a Thought Scour here. Got 2 white cards. Don't have a fetch land. We have a Murktide. I don't mind the hand. I'd prefer not to see the Phoenix here. If this was a fetch land, I think it would be an instant keep. The fact that we don't have a fetch land makes me a little bit nervous. Let's go ahead and keep it. We have a decent amount of fetch lands to hit. Not to mention we can just hit naturally a white land. Shuffling them back in or returning them. So you could play like Teamer and Endurance yourself, and that would be crazy. Let's go ahead and just F6 here. Thought Scouring us. There's a Flagstones and Speaker of the Heavens. Thought Scour ourselves here. Prismatic, Faithful, and a Thought Scour. That's 3 cards in the graveyard. Extra Phoenix here. Okay. Speaker of the Heavens is what our opponent's doing. Chalice on 1 might actually be worth it. This is that Life Gain Soul Sisters brew that we've been seeing that has the card that reanimates stuff out of the graveyard as well. Surgical might not be a bad thing to come in here. I think Chalice on 1, though, would be pretty good. All right, Lone Rider here. Unfortunately, I've got 2 Prismatic Endings, which would be great against some of this stuff. But it's not happening. That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage they just did to us. It's 5. Makes an Angel here. It's a lot of power in turn 3. Plays a Ranger. I might be dead. I might be dead. That was a good draw. I think I'm going to concede before I show them too much more here. Although it may be very obvious. All right, so we do want those lands appropriately. Let's get some Chalice in here. Doesn't seem too bad. Path really doesn't seem too bad either. It feels maybe odd. Maybe I shouldn't be bringing the Chalice in. Prismatic seems good. We got a Dream Twist in here. I think I'm going to get rid of my Dream Twist. Radical Idea is a thing that we thought about in Vesper Reanimator. We're going to take that one out. Lava Dart seems okay. Maximize Velocity I don't think needs to come in here. A lot of Jumpstart cards. They're Flashback and Jumpstart. Obviously, you're trying to grow Regent. What are you laughing at my Chalice for? I think I just want all the removal, really. One thing that we don't have is really counter magic, so this should play into my strengths of not knowing what to counter and when to counter. Let's take out one Ox. It seems slow. All right, Path and Chalice. I do think a Chalice on 1's pretty good, but the removal is also really good here. All right. Better lands this time. Thought Scour, Faithful. I think I'm good to keep this. No removal, but a lot more to dig through. Find things that we need. Remember, we can always find a Lava Dart. I'm gonna go fetch a Steam Vents initially, so that we have that red mana mountains for the Lava Dart that's buried somewhere in our list. This does feel a lot stronger, though. Do we think they play Mana Tithe? I doubt it. We'll have 6 here. Thought Scouring ourselves. We'll set up ourselves with a Faithful Mending and get things a-rolling here. All right, Sarah Ascendant. Well, Phoenix in hand, Prismatic and Bolt to Yard. That's not always good. And land draw. All right. I don't have a basic planes, which is interesting. All right, passing with Faithful Mending here. See what we can set up. Opponent attacks for 1. We go to 13. More 1-drops. Radiant Fountain. They gain up to 3 life now. It's a really good card. It's a really good card. Let's put 2 lands here. The Damping Sphere is going to come down. There's a Murktide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each spell player cast costs 1 more to cast for each other spell. I can delve that away, I believe. Let's go ahead and Thought Scour ourselves so we get a maximum Murktide here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just take all of them away to make a giant 9/9. Damping Sphere actually helping us grow Murktide to being big. Let's just hope they don't have Path, right? If they don't have Path, we're good. If they have Path, well, okay, it's not so good. The Ghost Quarter. Grim Lavamancer and Murktide would be pretty crazy. All right, opponent's fetching on the Flagstones here off the Ghost Quarter to get maybe a different color. I feel like they're mono white. There's Stoneforge. Okay. Cauldron Complete. I mean, I might just be playing Phoenix and smashing in for 12. Batterskull? Batterskull. Okay. This really just feels like this kind of turn. Phoenix in, smash 12, pass turn, see what happens. Good luck. Man, I guess I should bring in Wear and Tear. Wear and Tear for Batterskulls and Damping Spheres too. It's probably not a bad idea. All right, opponent connects for 1. That's 12. Currently have lethal in the air. Plays this thing. Is there a reason not to attack here for 12? I'm sitting here like Batterskull, but flying? Yeah, we get there. We get there. So one thing to remember as we go forward here to make sure we have all the colors in case we do pick up the prismatic ending. Okay. That worked. I kind of want these Wear and Tears. I kind of want Lava Dart here. This isn't Prison Mill or Land Destruction. We play everything. We play everything. I still think the Chalice is at least decent enough to keep playing with it. We did see a lot of 1-drops, 2-drops, and 3-drops, but there are a lot of 1-drops in this list. I'm on the draw. Maybe the Chalice can just come out for the Wear and Tear because my opponent's playing the Damping. They might be playing Rip too. Let's try it. Let's try it. It's Reanimator. It kind of is Reanimator. It's a version of Reanimator. No lands. That's a no-go. You could no lands. How many lands does this have? Oh, 18. Yeah, 18. All right. Well, keep Thought Scour away. Do we go like full on or do we need the removal? Meh. All the way. All the way. They won't Damping Sphere us. No way. Twice in a row. There's a Phoenix. We're set up. No Damping Sphere and we'll be good to go. Combating. Whack. Chalice? Yeah, Chalice is here. We're good. Please not, please not. Target player gains 4 life. Landfall. If a land enters the battlefield and you control, you gain 8. You got it. And then make an angel. You got it. You got it. All right. Steam Vents here. Well, I can kill this. I feel like I kill and then next turn I try to get the Phoenix out. Because if they make another one here, I'm in trouble. If they make another one, I'm in trouble. I'm also in trouble if my opponent plays a Damping Sphere down. I feel like they would have done that first over the rest for the Wary because they have plenty of time to do that. So Sarah's Ascendant. Okay. All right. Gonna make blue-white. No, we're gonna make red-green. Land isn't a bad thing to see here. Let's make blue-white because I can make red off my land. Okay, let's fetch here. Let's go get a basic. And then Faithful Mending here. Double Phoenix to the yard. Bring them back. Aw, yeah. Let's go ahead and swing. And let's Lava Dart Sarah's Ascendant out of the way. Dart was nice there. Path's my Phoenix. I'll accept. Let's go get some blue. All right. Got double Faithful Mending here. Obviously, they can attack for 4. Another Speaker. Don't like that so much. We're probably just going to take our turn back here because I can Faithful Mending, Lava Dart, and now I can consider. And if I'm able to find another Phoenix, we're looking good. Let's see here. Should I Faithful first? Or I think I consider first. Path to Exile. I actually could just take that, path the token, dart this, and go on with my day. Let's go with a no here. Let's path the angel. Dart. Pass turn. Swinging in with Phoenix. This looks good. I'm going to hold on to the land here so I have an extra card in hand for this Faithful Mending. Now we have given them 3 mana here because of the path. There's a Stoneforge Mystic. I'm liking where we're at so far. Who needs lands? Hey, our Phoenix is getting in. They're going to get, what, Batterskull here probably? So we just need to stop Stoneforge. Maul. Interesting. All right, let's lead with Faithful Mending. That's a good card. I am not going to GP Vegas. I'll tell you why in a little bit. Hallowed Fountain. We got to be careful how many things we have to go searching. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Ox is a good pickup because we can do that next. Swing 3, pass turn. I'll tell you after this game when we're back into the sideboard, or I don't really know where we're at, honestly. All right, little Ranger Captain. Martyr. Okay. Prismatic Ending would be nice for Martyr. At the same time, I don't think it really matters. Maybe I'm just supposed to burn this here and swing. I know they're going to have some gaining of life here. I kind of like just getting rid of the Ranger here. They're obviously going to sacrifice it so it's in the graveyard, attack 3, and then worry about Ox. Because if I play Ox here, I don't get to really use the Prismatic Ending. I'm not so worried about these cards so far. So there's Martyr. If anything, Martyr would just show me what they have in hand. Yeah, it gains them a decent amount. 3 per, and it could be up to 12 here, going to 29. We just need one big Murktide. Let's see. That's it. All right, we have a Path, we have a Speaker, we have a Maul. We have a Speaker that I want to kill. All right, so let's shock in. We'll have one white open here. Let's go ahead and Ox. We need to exile 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It'd be really good if we had a Murktide here because we would be exiling cards there, growing a big creature. All right, so we have a Wear and Tear. We have Flooded Strands. Let's go ahead and Faithful. Actually, we can wait on the Faithful. Let's attack, and because this is instant. Let's just do it at instant speed here. Oh, they played that Speaker, right? No, they have another one. All right, Martyr. I guess it's those 3. They have 2 Mauls and a Path. Looks like it. All right, Faithful. Let's play another Phoenix here from the air. If I play another Phoenix, I could hold on to mana to cast the Faithful Mending. I have another island in the deck. Do I need this Wear and Tear anymore? I probably don't. Speaking of island, now it's in my hand. It's up D20. All right, combat, let's swing. Trying to scare him. Okay, they block here. Let's go ahead. Let that resolve. Pass the other one. They're doing everything. So we're out of things to do here. We have bolts to hit here. So we really want to hit one of those bolts, more than likely. So let's go ahead and go Faithful Mending from hand. There's a Murktide that's great to hit. We can throw Phoenix to the yard here. Plus Flooded Strand. Let's go ahead and put our island down. Let's go ahead and double down on mana, making... Oops. Come on. Let's make red blue again. There's a Thought Scour. Thought Scour us. We're going to get the Phoenix back. Let's Faithful Mending here as well. And then we'll have a Murktide next turn. There's a Bolt. Excellent. Oh no, this is during combat, right? Oh, whoops. Whoops. All right, we'll be fine. We got a big Murktide, we got a Bolt. I'm feeling okay. We were thinking at the wrong time. Oops. Don't make that mistake. Plays a Maw here. Maw ETBs attaches to Angel. It's a 6/6. Land, and I think they have another Maw. I really think we're okay here. All right, let's start with a Faithful. So there's a Prismatic and another Murktide. Bolt, Prismatic, play Murktide. If I Bolt and Prismatic and play Murktide, then the Phoenixes come back. I can't Bolt and Prismatic, can I? Well, I can Bolt and Prismatic. I can't Murktide as well. I haven't played one. This is cast with Flashback. Bolt, or no, Prismatic, Bolt. I have some Phoenixes. I wish I could keep both of these Murktides, but I don't think I can. So land and Murktide here. Prismatic Angel token. Bolt here. Bring back our Phoenixes this time around. It's flying in first strike. Get in. Get in! I can't do all of them. We got to get the math right. We have a lot of lands and can't quite do everything that we wanted to. This feels good though. We'll have Murktide here. This is Radiant Fountain. I think they have another Maw in hand. Oh, they have Batterskull. Okay, somewhere we missed a card. Murktide's a better carry. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. So I want to leave 5 instants if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That seems pretty good. Oh, their basics are pretty sweet. Yeah, these promo basics. This Murktide's going to be an 8/8 and then become like jumbo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yield. We'll wait for our big swing next turn. This is why I wanted to do both Murktides. This is really good now. It was a good top deck. We misjudged our Phoenix earlier. Got big threats. Big threats. Even if they move this over plus this, that's a 10/10 Angel. Murktide says hello. 10/10 first striking Angel if they could get all this over here, but it won't matter. I guess a Fate. What would be good here? Another Murktide. Attacks 4/4 lifelink. I'm gonna block with the 8/8 here, and I think it's okay to block with the 8/8. Okay. Winds of Abandon. Oh. Don't say that. It needs 6 mana, doesn't it? Winds of Abandon. I mean, 2 mana gets rid of something. Yeah. All right. They make the Angel an 8/8 biggin. This says Flashback, which makes these bigger. So let's go. Oh, yeah. Put any number of these cards into your graveyard. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library. So I want this into the graveyard. Cool. I then want Wear and Tear with a Thought Scour on top. And we should be okay from there. I'm kind of tempting to just offer this, but at this, yes, because I can flash this back. Watch this. They block, get them. Oh, they didn't take it. They didn't take the bait. Declaration in stone. Stop suggesting things. Every time we speak, they could bring it up. They could win. It's pretty good. Quips. It's a 10-10. Flying, first strike, vigilance. There's speaker. Okay, they're gonna gain some life. Nah, they don't want to. They don't want to. All right, Thought Scour my opponent here because I want to draw the Wear and Tear. Okay. Let's otherworldly here just to see what's going on. Grows my Murktides. There's a Lightning Bolt and a Thought Scour. Kind of want this Lightning Bolt for this creature over here. Let's go ahead and take the Lightning Bolt. No enchantments really for me to kill. So the question is, which one of these do I want to kill? I probably want to kill the Batterskull. I guess we present lethal here, and then we get the Batterskull when they block one of these. Yeah, they first strike me, but I take them down to 8. I guess I could have taken them to 2, but I kind of like the idea of a few blockers here in case they, I don't know, have some weird way to put Maul on and anything like that. Maybe getting them to 2 is the correct line here because I have a Bolt. This also blocks them so they're not attacking for like Vigilance, Lifelink, making an Angel. I don't think that would matter here. Maybe. Maybe they just do it anyway. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, because it's first strike. Maybe I should have attacked. This is flying too now. Bye. They needed the defender. Probably would have been better to have a 4/4 defender. In we go. Crunch. Crunch. Okay. We made a mistake. We screwed up Murktide. We screwed up when Phoenix came in. We still got there. Look at this hand. Faithful, Manamorphose. You can make red, white, red, blue, something like that into Faithful Mending. And then we would have drawn 2, discarded, and then I could have cast it one more time to draw 2, discard 2. Oh, man. All right. I was asked if I'm going to GP Vegas. The answer is no. Let's queue up for our next one. The reason that it's no is I'm not quite comfortable with open or closed spaces with large crowds quite yet. I think there is something to be said about respecting some of the stuff still going on in the world. We are going to go to a bike adventure tomorrow. So we'll be all outside and it'll be a little more crowded. We're going to try that and see how comfortable we feel. I literally went to a restaurant with my wife and we were fine until like 2 tables over, the people were like hacking up a lung. And it's not that it was like bad, but it made you really aware and uncomfortable, especially knowing that you have people in your life that you visit that are susceptible to things. So that's why. Can't make an Angel at 5 life. Okay, 5 wasn't it? I thought it was gain like 3 or 4. I think it's reasonable. I think it'd be better for me to go to like a local F&M first, go to maybe a local tournament, go to local events, be okay with going to the restaurant. Like, I'm okay with going to restaurants. I like to sit outside a lot more. We did fly at some point, by the way. It is the quietest I've ever been on an airplane, and it is the only time that I recall ever flying where like half the plane wasn't coughing and just sneezing and stuff like that, and being just sick in general. The whole joke of getting sick while you're on an airplane was crazy. Everyone was like actually okay. All right, we'll keep this hand. We'll see how good this otherworldly gaze is. Probably lead with what? Steam vents into hallowed fountain. Let's get it going. What is this D20? Blurbs data? I kind of like that. Kind of like those datas. Oh, I'm playing first. I thought I was second. Well, we'll shock this in because we're playing to do something here. Go ahead, opponent. All right, let's play smarter here. Breeding pool. Ah, okay. Looks like maybe Primal Titan. It's from a Sea of Thieves streamer. It's pretty cool. Name's Giant. All right. Otherworldly Gaze. I could literally put all of this back or into the graveyard here. I'm going to take the bolt for reach here. We're going to say okay. I'm going to take the bolt. I'm going to Hallowed Fountain. Actually, let's do Sacred Foundry. Dart. Oops. Let's make sure I do this right. Dart. I should be darting their face. All right. Should be 2 down. 2 darts. And then a prismatic ending here. So they should have 16 life, and then I punch them for 6 here. They should be at 10, which I guess won't matter with the lava. With the lightning bolt, it's not going to be quite enough here. It's close, though. Smack them for another 3. Let's go get that Hallowed Fountain. I'm actually going to go ahead and play Murktide here. Just to have another threat out there. And now I have Lethal Murktide. I have Arclight double attack. I have Arclight single plus Bolt. We're getting it done. Lava Dart did a lot of work there to bring back the Phoenix. Otherworldly Gaze found 2 Phoenixes immediately. I mean, that's pretty good, you know. We made the thing happen. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Could do wear and tears for the amulets to slow my opponent down. I could also bring paths in. Prismatic ending kind of messes with the amulet, so maybe the wear and tear doesn't matter as much. The elemental side could come in, or the enchantment side could come in here. You like Gaze? Gaze has been decent so far. It's been decent. I think Radical Idea is too slow here. I think my maximize velocity. This will be interesting. Giving a Murktide haste could be a thing. Maybe I get rid of 2 Oxes because they're really slow in this matchup. Bring 1 wear and tear in. Maybe I bring the other Lava Dart in just to spell off. If I'm doing this, I almost want to take like a Dream Twist out or something and bring the Wear and Tear in, just a way to get rid of the Dryad. Not planning to do it though. Where are the lands? We really want a pair of lands, right? All right, I found my pair of lands. I have a Manamorphose, Prismatic, and a Path. I guess I'm going to get rid of the Path here. It's a little bit of the hardest thing to cast. Grazer. I almost want to wait for Manamorphose and then fire off Manamorphose Otherworldly Prismatic. And if I do that, we could be in good shape. There's an Amulet I want to hit with this Prismatic Ending. 3. Dryad replay card. Let's go for all the spells here. All the spells. All the spells. All right, so we're going to make blue and white here. It's another Prismatic Ending. Not bad to see. Otherworldly. Kind of miss here, so I'm just going to dump everything to the graveyard for future. Prismatic, the Amulet here. And pass. We did not hit a Phoenix. Lucky 13. What's up, Donnie? How's it going? Year +1 Baker's Dozen extra donut hole. Whatever variation of things you get here. How's it going? We're 1-0. We're doing good. Doing good. I know you're going to ask. Teleria West for a 0. Gives them a Summoner's Pact. You're going to get an Amulet here. Okay. Bounces basic forest, plays basic forest. Attacks for a little bit as well. All right. Well, do we want a Prismatic 3, get rid of Dryad here before they show up with Primeval Titan? Then try to just play a giant Murktide. It's probably right. Otherwise, we're just going to get shot down here. Otherwise, we're going to get shot down. They have a Summoner's Pact, so we know they have Primeval Titan. More than likely. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. They make it here with the castle. Pacting in response. Chalice on 0 might not be a bad idea. Happy Friday. Hope your surveillance, my surveillance, are treating you well. So they're going to attack me and do a lot of damage here. I'm going to get another Teleria West so they can get Dryad next turn. We can make 4 mana for the Pact pay. Okay, so here's where they swing. And then they get like Simic Growth Chamber plus Teleria West. Hit me for 8. Currently there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish cards down it. So Murktide's an 8/8. Trades with Primeval Titan. As long as they don't get the first strike stuff, which they could. the double strike. I almost need Path more than I need to play a Murktide. It's not a very good position to be in. What's most interesting here is that they've actually left themselves super vulnerable to not being able to pay for Pact. If I were to find a way to get like rid of Castle or Forest, I think it's just very interesting. Okay, there's another Forest. I was going to say, it's very strange. Let's go ahead and Faithful Mending just to see what we draw. All right, they got us. So Chalice on 0 could be a thing. I don't think I want to Alpine Moon. I doubt I'm going to Thought Scour be able to Surgical a Primeval Titan. Versus Squad Chief? Is that who I'm playing against? This is how much I pay attention to what's going on. Lava Dart was cute there. You believe it? It probably is true. Oh, it's supposed to say Surveils. Fair enough. All right, one lander here. Not a red source. Too many Phoenixes in hands. It's mulligan. All right. That's a lot of lands for 18 lands. Faithful Mending, though. Can we draw something busted off the top? Probably. A semi-weak hand here, but we're gonna really leverage Faithful Mending here to get the job done. There's Amulet. There's Murktide. All right, Murktide. You're gonna have to make things work well for us. All right, Saga up to 2 here. Got to tap lands. That way they can make Saga tokens. This is 3 mana if they want it. What are they going to bounce? Or are they going to just... Or are we going to just do Saga? That doesn't seem very good. Make a 2/2. Okay. Balance land. Can play one more land here. Castle makes 3 mana. Explores with 2 of the mana to replay Saga. Okay. So they have Titan next turn. They have Titan next turn. It's a problem. The Steam Vents here. Let's go ahead and Faithful Mending. It's a Lava Dart. Could get rid of Azusa. 1, 2, 3. Well, it's about as good as it's gonna get here. Double Manamorpho is not bad. Phoenix and a Manamorphose to the yard. Land played. Bolt. Bolt. Double Phoenix back. Swing for the hills. I don't know if this is enough, though. If they have Titan here, They just play Titan. They attack me to get all the mana they need here. They make another Saga. Interesting that they're not making like extra green here. So they don't have enough green to do castle. That's a thing. Woo! Woo! Okay. Let's start. We're going to make a big Murktide. Probably. Let's play blue and red. Oh, that's a good card to have. Now let's make double blue. That's a good card because Path will be nice. Ooh, if I made white here, could be good, but no luck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I leave a Faithful Mending there? I can probably do that. Let's make an 8-8. Or sorry, a 7-7. Swing. Pass turn. Okay, down to 8. All right. So not quite lethal, but then Faithful Mending makes it lethal if we get to just swing with the singleton here. The 2 Phoenixes were never going to be lethal anyway. All right, let's see what happens here, because they can get another Amulet, and that could be a problem. Got a big 7-7 blocker, though, and I've got a Path to follow it up. Plus, we have Prismatic Ending for maybe a token. Is it going to be enough, though? I almost need, like, a Lava Dart or Bolt off the top to really secure this, probably. Another Amulet and Urza Saga up. There's a Simic Growth Chamber. We make lots of mana here. Everything flies here, so unless I'm dead on board, I think we're letting anything through. Can't tell you how much I want this Path to be live here, but we used some mana to get rid of that Azusa early on. Otherwise, I would have had the extra mana. Maybe would have had the white mana available to us. There's a Teleria West. Summoner Pact to get Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Titan. I might be dead here. Am I dead? It looks like I'm dead. You don't think so? I don't really know the amulet math very well. There's times where they can do about 18 to you. They go get Titan, they suit it up to attack. They attack for 8. And then they get more to give it, what, the double strike as well? I guess I'm blocking with Murktide. Then I can path it. They have Summoner Pact to pay for. I don't think there's a world where they could go get... Can they go get Dryad here somewhere? I don't think they can. That's what I'm worried about. I don't think they can, though. They can get, like, Teleria West and balance it and pay to get it, but they can't play, I don't believe. So I'm probably alive with, what, a path on their Titan here. They got to pay for Pact, and I'm hopefully getting to swing for lethal. I think they've played a land for the turn. Simic Growth Chamber was played for the turn. Right, because they bounced the other Simic Growth Chamber. They had 1, now they have 2. I'm really liking this Murktide list, by the way. I like this Phoenix Murktide list. That's pretty good. If this is Squad Chief, I can see him just connecting, finding his opponent, being like, no, Blood Moon. Gotcha. That's why we play lists, different lists from time to time. What 2 lands could they get? Because they can set it up to kill next turn. So this gives it haste. Which I don't think we care about. And I don't care about taking 8 here. Okay. So Slayer Stronghold, and they can do the token if they want to. Which I guess, why not? They can't bounce green mana. Well, they can bounce green mana because they can go get more mana with Primeval Titan. I always forget that that's an option. So you might as well make the token bigger too, because they don't really have green mana here, and typically the stuff that they're playing here during main phase. All right, they bounce the castle, Garenberg, so we're getting attacked for an 8/6 right now. Swing with both. Cool. All right. What lands they get here probably matter. But what lands could they get? Right, so I'm thinking the double strike, and I have the Murktide, then they have to pay for the Pact, and I can path here. Path during when they pay or before they attack. So the question is, what could they do? So what? They double strike. It's 16 here. Like, I'm almost okay with just not even blocking, right? I block over here the 3/3. But I guess I have to be careful with this increasing the Primeval Titan. Basically, I might have to attack with one Arclight Phoenix and block. This is kind of weird. They can give it double strike, and they can give it +2/+0 again. So it could be a 10/6 first strike, double strike, right? Vesuva plus the Sunhome. So then what I do on my turn, hopefully I draw a ability to get white, and I could Prismatic and Path. If I don't, I Path here and attack with 3. I have to then like live through this. If this can't kill me with whatever lands they have on board, then I attack both and threaten lethal in the air in the following turn. We attack with both on the chance that they have an Arbor, Grazer, the Reach 03, the Sloth. Here's Sunhome. All right, so they can only double strike. They cannot do both. So they can double strike here, but they don't have another red to give this 10. If it was 10, then I'm forced to block here, making this really awkward. I'm going to draw a Phoenix, which is nothing. So we have to path and swing 1, because then I have to block here. The following up Murktide is castable because I'll have used a path, but it's not going to be very big. It's going to be a 5/5. And if they're using here, they're good, but they have to use this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. They'd have enough to make another token, so Murktide would only block 1 and I would die. So if they had another red here, I think they have a chance. They couldn't find any path. I think if they had the extra, if you had the extra red, I think you can force the block. So Vesuva plus Sunhome. I think Vesuva plus Sunhome, they basically make this 16/16 and make it bigger. I'm forced to block here, then it's a matter of what's on top. I then have to path here. They get to attack here, but also make another. The question is, do they have another Vesuva? Sometimes they run 2. Sometimes they run another garrison or other things. Basically, the idea is that they have to attack here. I have blocked a decent amount, but I'm then dying to the constructs here because my phoenixes don't do enough damage because I have to hold one back. It's a good game. It's a good game to like really do some analysis on too. All right. Onward we go though. That basically comes down to deck construction, what you've picked up already, and what if there's a double red source in the list, I think. Yeah, my prediction of losing the second match. It was close, though. It was close. Almost lost. You can analyze that game a lot more and see. I think looking at the draws in total, I think the Titan player has a chance to get out of that, where our draws probably played a little more linearly. All right, we're 2-0. My opponent's 2-0. Get the one lander, no blue. We haven't liked the one landers, so I'm going to mulligan this. I kind of want 19 lands, the amount of times I've run into issues here. All right, I kind of like all this. I kind of like the fact that I could pitch that to Faithful Mending. I think I like it enough to keep and ditch a land here. And we'll lead with Spiral Bluff Canal, so I can either consider a Bolt, and then we'll go get Hallowed Fountain. No, we'll get Sacred Foundry. That way I have the double red for the Ogs. Let's be careful about how we're searching for mana. All right, let's make things happen. Don't make me discard, opponent. Blood Crypt, red? All right, they Thoughtseize. I kind of don't mind half of this going to the library. They might take Faithful Mending because it gets rid of the Ox. I doubt they take Consider. What's up, Dylan? How's it going? What up? What up? What up? What up? Happy Friday. It's a good Friday. Your little beer emote. We've used Ox once. It refueled us. Made Faithful Mending better post Ox. It's pretty good. I actually kind of liked it. The other thing that Ox is doing that's not as obvious is Ox can grow Murktide. Let's consider first. I'm going to not put that into my graveyard. That's what I wanted to cast. All right. Oktoberfest. There you go. Look at Grayus with his anger rage emote. Gosh, this is amazing that this is instant speed. You're probably going to start seeing some decks with this in it. I think this card is absolutely busted. Jund. Yeah, it seems familiar. It seems like what I wanted to do before my opponent got all aggressive. We got to go get that Sacred Foundry still. My opponent doesn't do anything here. That's interesting. Sacred Foundry. Let's go ahead and Faithful. I like the land. Kind of like the Bolt. So Ox is going to the yard. What's the follow-up? I think it's just going to be Consider here because I got a Faithful Mending in the yard, and I wouldn't mind the Prismatic Ending. The other thing is we can consider just casting Ox. I think I'm going to wait, though. Wait a turn here, see what else we get off the next Faithful Mending, and we'll go from there. What card is busted? Faithful Mending. I think Faithful Mending is busted. Will it do busted things in decks? No, but the general card is, in my opinion, busted. Like this. It's just busted. All right. So here's a good one here. We'll go ahead and prismatic ending this away. Say okay to that. Let's go ahead and get snow-covered forest. Nah, let's go get a hallowed fountain here. Oh, I don't have another hallowed fountain. Why don't I have a... Oh, it's down here. I should have waited. I was going to get a hallowed fountain, but let's go ahead and get ox here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see this eats up a lot of our graveyard, but we're just going to like do this and draw a bunch of cards here. Look at this. These are great things to have. And now they deal with the ox, and I've got a crazy hand here. What makes it busted? It's instant. It's instant speed, and it has flashback. The flashback cost is the same as Faithless Looting, so think about that. So it's an instant speed, Faithless Looting. Liliana, that's fine. We'll get Ox back a little bit later. I'm gonna just attack Liliana here and pass turn. All right, so it's an instant speed Faithless Looting, and yes, it's later than Faithless Looting by 1 turn, but it's instant speed. So you can put it in decks where Faithless Looting kind of had to go all in on it. You can put it in a deck that wants to play some counter magic. It just seems ridiculous. I'm not going to get to cast the 3 spells I wanted to here. Like here we were going to Faithful, Otherworldly, and Lightning Bolt to get the other Phoenix back. But I guess I'm not doing that here. Let's fetch for another shock land. Just make our mana as beautiful as possible. All right. So, like, Faithful Mending, just try to hit another Phoenix to dump to the yard. Dream Twist is fine here. Flooded Strands. We bolt. We bolt. We get a Phoenix back. If my opponent has bolt, they live a turn. If they don't, we kill them. Like, we just use Faithful Mending as a whatever the card is called that I was talking about. All right, Liliana here. Lose Phoenix. Otherworldly. So here we win, I believe. Because we have Otherworldly and we have Dream Twist here. So Otherworldly, let's just have fun and dump every card just to see how many cards we can see here. Otherworldly, dump, dump, dump. And then Dream Twist, mill us in case we hit another Phoenix for funsies. And now we get 2 Phoenixes back. We kill them and kill them. So like, everything with flashback is just crazy. And then that was a good example of just like dumping the cards. We could eventually have hit a Murktide and left it on top with Otherworldlies and then milled them or something like that. But I think Faithful Mending just put on a show while I'm talking about it and why I think it's busted. It's just busted. It's busted. If you don't think it's busted, don't play it. You're going to miss out. Liliana's kind of annoying here. I don't really have anything for Liliana. Thinking a pair of Surgicals for something like Croxa. It's a little bit annoying. Cheap spell, free, gets Phoenix back quickly. Want to just play a Ragavan? Maybe a Lava Dart in here too. Let's take Radical Idea out, maximize velocity. I'm gonna take the Dream Twist out. That was pretty nuts, wasn't it? I take a lot of the flashback cards out because at this point I can tune the main deck to what I want against the opponent. If that's the correct line, we'll never know, but it could be the right line. This kills Ragavan, so I'm going to keep it. Yeah, it just synergizes well. It's instant. That's the thing that bothers me the most and scariest. It's also in the wrong card color, some would say. It's not in red. So take that for what it's worth. But look at that. My opponent takes it. I'm going to get to play it in a few turns anyway. It's great. It's just like as bad as you would feel about other cards. Well, this is interesting. I'll go get a Hallowed Fountain, I think. I wonder if I get rid of that Nile Spellbomb. Or are they gonna use it for me? I'm gonna wait. No, I'm not. That's a terrible idea. Why would you wait, Fluffy? Gosh. Flashing is back at instant speed is pretty good. Yes, yes. I think that's the thing. Flashing back at instant speed is, to me, very busted. Very busted. Were there any thoughts to a one of Triome in the list? You probably don't want to necessarily fetch a tap land. I'm just trying to save my life total here. All right, they're going to uptick. We're going to... You know what? I can triple spell here. Let's just float blue mana and just not do anything with it. The ultimate flex. Whoops, it disappeared. Okay. Thought Scour ourselves, draw a card. That's kind of cool. We'll do that later. Thought Scours ourselves. Come on, Phoenixes. There's another Phoenix. That looks great. Sacred Foundry. Hit this. Get Phoenixes back. One at Lily, one at them. Pass turn. Look at how great that was. I saw a Ragavan from my opponent. That is why we kept Lava Dart and added a Lava Dart. They're playing, as I've learned, Boomer Jund with Ragavan. Boomer because it contains this card. Dang. All right. Let's attack for 6 here. I'll probably... Now I'll leave Otherworldly alone here. Wow, 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 wow. All right. Let's do something very unique here. All right, we ready? Need a little more red here. The unique thing we're gonna do is play a Murktide, but we're only gonna get rid of one thing here. And then we'll pay into the rest of it. I guess I have to get rid. No, I have a Murktide in here. Let's get rid of the other Murktide. This makes this a 4/4. What I'm planning to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I'm planning to make this one mega. Mega big. I want to try to get this down, but let's just do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I'm actually going to pay into this a little bit so I have Otherworldly the flashback. And then we attack for 8. I guess I could have done one more, but I can flash this back and snack them for lethal, so it worked. Rather get the value out of Otherworldly. This card is busted too, but that's coming from a red mage. Plenty of other colors can deal with this. Red mages can't. Black can, clearly. Terminate. See? Terminate. Terminate gets rid of this. But red cards struggle. It's going well. Deck seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is winning. Do you think anything like Bloodbraid? I do not even know if that card still sees play. I very, very, very rarely do, and that's probably because the opponents don't have the money or don't want to invest on the new cards just yet. That's usually when we see Bloodbraid Elf. In terms of competitive Jund lists, I don't think it exists anymore. I have seen some Blood Braids in the, in the Footfalls deck, but that one went out of style real fast. It's super easy to counter. Deck is weak. It's all in the Fluffster skill. I love Murktide. Murktide is so much better than Demilich. I don't even know what that card does. It's the 4 pipped, does stuff. Can cast from graveyards. Murktide all the way. I don't want to spend it out of the graveyard. You're putting too much reliance on the graveyard then. I hate doing that. Unless you're all in with Reanimator. By the way, it was sarcastic. I know what Demilich does. All right, here's another one-lander. We actually have 2 cards I'd rather see in graveyard. We have a Bolt, which is nice. I've been very disciplined not to keep one-landers. The deck's been behaving. We're going to go ahead and mulligan this one. Mulligan. All right, basically a similar hand here. I'm probably going to keep this one and get rid of Radical Idea. So now I have a removal. I Dream Twist myself. We might get a decently sized quick Murktide and then Faithful Mending from there on out. We see. I think Jund can be good, but it needs to be a lot lower. Oh yeah, the Luris Jund lists are pretty decent. Don't you Dream Twist yourself, opponent. This isn't good. This isn't good. We may have to like Faithful Mending in response to play something like a Murktide, but our Murktide's just not going to be as big then. This could be a problem. I'm going to try to Dream Twist myself. There's a standard tourney coming up with a Degenerate team. Have you picked a deck yet? That happened last Sunday. Surprise? Yeah, that happened last Sunday. We did well. We played red, green wolves. Werewolves, to be exact. We played on Arena. We won a code. We gave it away to the folks. I'm working with the person that got the code. Now you're good. If you heard it on like YouTube or something, yeah, it'll be a little late. Cycles here. What do we need? I don't have anything that tackles the graveyard too crazily. I think we just got to bring chalices in, right? Maybe the Hermit this time now because we need some counter magic. Oh boy, it's not looking very good. So I can't do anything here other than pass the turn back to me. I did okay. I know how to play some standard. You review the lists that are available. Hey, go get them. All right, we're trying to hold up Faithful Mending here to respond to a Cascade that gets Living End. We need to bring Chalice in, maybe Surgical, but definitely Chalice. I know how to thmork. All right, we Cascading. All right, here we go. I'll probably Faithful Mending from this card. What I'm going to also do, I think... I'm going to do 1 Manamorphose here as well, just to dig 1 card deeper to find more creatures. Consider technically finds me maybe one more because I can do this Faithful Mending. All right. Oh, I can't do this Faithful Mending. Because I don't have blue and white. We'll just otherworldly. That's like Faithful Mending. I just won't get the Murktide, which we're kind of okay with that actually. To dump everything. I saw the maximize velocity. I might actually want to just hard cast the Murktide now that I'm thinking about it. I'm like trying to put it into the battlefield, but now this looks okay. I actually don't think that's a punt now. Maybe it saved us. The deck is trying to be like, Fluffy, look, we can be a 5-0 deck, but you just have to focus. That's what it's telling me. Meanwhile, I hear Red Prison over here like, play me. Shh. Oh, you punted me. Look at this. I have Murktide plus Lightning Bolt here. We're good. We did this right. We did this right. I feel like I did this right. Bolt here. We got a Phoenix here as well. Maybe I attack and like hope and bolt and, you know, do things. How close are we to 5K followers? Oh, we're 900 off. Never mind. Never mind. 4,120. Woo! Oh, that was on my turn. That's right. 4, 3. This. Dream Twist. This is a lot of damage. What is this? 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go to 5. I can bolt Murktide here. Murktide here. Bolt here. Take 3. It's not great. No, grief. Don't take Murktide. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, this isn't good. Okay. I gotta cast enough spells to get an Arclight Phoenix back. Well, if we're gonna have a chance at casting enough spells, I guess we're leading with Faithful Mending. Punt confirmed. Punt was confirmed. You're right, it was confirmed. We should have a 3-3 in play instead. All right, opponent, let this Faithful Mending roll off. You're not going to do anything. Let it go. Let it be free. Glad I have the chalices for 0. That will be important. I just want a Faithful Mend. Oh-ing. Can I hit a consider and a bolt? Maybe 2 bolts. Give me another bolt. Can I get a basic mountain? Oh. We have interaction. Oh, 3 mana. Oh, no. The deck was going to unpunt us. Just saying. All right, chalices are definitely in here. Flusterstorm probably is worth it, and maybe the Hermit. I don't think surgical needs to come in here. Let's take maximize out, radical idea, lava dart, dream twist. Start with these cards. Prismatic ending doesn't feel good. Maybe I should bring these back. Let's think here. Let's think. Let's think here. Do I want surgical at all? If I get one living end, would I want another one? Do I want to just try to surgical some of their creatures? Is that just like better than prismatic endings at this point? It might be. Maybe I should bring in lava darts to maximize the chance of doing Phoenix, but they can then spin the wheel and get rid of my creatures. If I have Chalice out though, that's okay. This draws a card right now. This is gains haste. Huh. I don't feel great about these surgicals, but I don't feel like it's incorrect. It's not to have a super big impact. It's like surgical becomes a double bolt on something if they have more than one in the yard, and that's what I'm thinking of. Lava Dart would help me spin Phoenixes out, but wasting a bunch of resources when my opponent's at about 3 mana may not be worth it. We get the Phoenixes back, and then they send them back with a living end. Lava Darts are better if the Chalice comes out quicker. I think the Surgicals give me more time to find Murktides. I'm gonna try it with the Surgicals. This matchup though, I am not certain which line you should be taking. It may matter draw and play and draw. All right, one land here. We're doing discipline things. We're not doing that. It's mulligan. Okay, get rid of Ox. Do an otherworldly. Repeat, and then surgical and Manamorphose. Try to get a big Murktide. Manamorphose has to help the Murktide out. We go get what, a Hallowed Fountain here probably. I don't need as much white actually. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's something else. How much white do I have? I have Faithful Mending. I guess Faithful Mending's enough to make me want to do a Hallowed Fountain here. All right. Otherworldly. There's extra blue. So Phoenix and Lightning Bolt to the yard. If I pick up the Spirebluff Canal, I can then bolt and then surgical like myself just to cast, get Arclight Phoenix. I'll have done 6, putting them to 12. Their next card that they'll play, then I can attack again. Problem is after that, what am I doing? Because if then they just go living end, then I'm dead. I'm going to put both of these in the yard because I don't think keeping this is good enough. I think finding Chalice here in the top couple cards is much better. And I do have the Otherworldly Gaze here to help Murktide. Start with a Manamorphose. Making blue, blue. Three, four, five. Chalice on 0. See if they have the force. I could flashback otherworldly here. I almost want a surgical here and then use the surgical on the Murktide, see what my opponent's doing. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go this route. This way I can see what's going on. Let's grab this. All right. Architect, Curator, Misty, Shardless, and Violent, and Waker. So my opponent doesn't have anything that scares me yet. They have Brazen Borrower in their list. Endurance as well. So using my graveyard efficiently here might be good. Shardless, Age, and Violent, Waker, Brazen. They have 2 Brazen Borrowers basically to get rid of the Chalice. Okay. Okay, so now I want to play Murktide, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go Spire Bluff Canal because next turn I could use Otherworldly to help with the Phoenix. This would make this a 7/7 versus an 8/8. 7/14 plus 3 is not quite enough, but I get to use this at least once to pump. So I think we'll do it this way and get rid of a Spire Bluff Canal. So this should make a 7/7, I believe. Then I have Bolt and the Gaze. Oh no, it's a 6/6. Okay. I think we'll be okay. 6/7. I mean, I'm going to make it a 7/7 anyway. I'm just going to get the value. I think we're okay. All right. So Misty Rainforest, probably played here. Chalice is big. Chalice is big. Scalding Tarn, new card. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Otherworldly, grows Murktide. Spell 1. We'll put Floodstrand. We'll put a Consider on top. And then we'll see if we can get all the kill next turn. Consider, Lightning Bolt, maybe one more spell, hit him with the Phoenix. Turn to 6/6 Murky Boy. Not bad, is it? Waker. That was a quick look. Misty. Cracks Misty immediately. Okay. Foundation Breaker to kill the Chalice here. By the way, my opponent is currently dead on board. They just don't know it because of the Lightning Bolt. I'm going to hold the Lightning Bolt here because with the Consider on top, theoretically, I could get the Phoenix back as well. So let's Consider, see if I hit another 1-drop spell. They cycle to respond to this. And forces. We're going to go ahead and bolt and see if this kills them. The Consider is really bad for them because I could chain together for the Phoenix anyway and get the bolt damage in. Consider would have seen Faithful Mending. I'd probably ditch that because I would have already used 1 spell. We found a surgical. We would have gotten there. All right. So Foundation Breaker and Petty Theft are the things we have to worry about. I don't think there's much to do here. We know what we have to kind of avoid. Get the Chalice. Chalice down. Let's do it. 1-1 against this opponent. Let's get that 2-1. This is a tough one. I feel more confident going into game 3 on what I need to avoid and what is more important. I'd love to see a Chalice and Flusterstorm being on the draw. Just a 1-of Flusterstorm plus Chalice. That'd give me some real confidence here. Fetch, Shock. Play Chalice and 0, have Flusterstorm to protect it from a force. And then we would have Flusterstorm to protect against Petty Theft, not necessarily against Endurance. Or not the Endurance, the Evoking green creature. Foundation Breaker. Got a shot. Got a shot. Shot in the dark. Shot in the dark. Shots. Got shot in the dark. What is opponent gonna do here? What are they gonna do? We're running out of water. It's not good. It's not good. Need to go get more. Here we go. Here we go. Well, I have the Hermit, which we kind of liked. I got a Faithful Mending, which I like as well. And I have a Surgical. I'm not opposed to a lot of what I have here. I am on the draw, meaning that the Hermit might not be quick enough. We'll try it, though. I like what we got. Let's make it happen. Another Faithful. Another Faithful. Street Wraith. No. Street Wraith. No. Here's where the Surgical could get like 2 or maybe even 3 creatures if they like did another Street Wraith. Curator. Oh, they missed a land. Oh, they missed a land drop. It's really good for us. I'm gonna slap little Hermit down. Little 2-1. Look at him. He's so angry. He's a fish guy. Look at him. He's got fish in the background. Look at the fish up there. Oh my gosh. The surgical is a quad bolt almost. All right. Well, I'm gonna attack for 2. Hi-ya. Attack with my stick. End step Faithful Mending probably. Maybe I just want to like. No, I wouldn't cast Arclight Phoenix right now. I don't think I would cast it at least. My opponent's at 8. Dude, they're at 8. They're almost dead. And Fairy. Oh, Botanical Sanctum. Okay. Let's fetch first. Gonna get my island. Yeah, I'm gonna get an island. And then let's Faithful Mending once here. Let's draw some cards. Okay. Fairy. They had another fairy apparently. Okay. I just need to let that fairy go. That's fine. That's fine. We gotta accept. Woo, chalice. All right. Let's go ahead and attack for 2. Yeah. Okay. Attempt to resolve chalice on 0. We might sacrifice and we might then disturb. Be clever. To be clever. Also becomes a flyer. Oh, they're thinking about this chalice. They're not happy about it. They're not happy about it. It feels pretty good. Man, this has got to be a tough chalice to think about here. So I can counter whatever they do, and then I can disturb it back. I could also, like, try to do, like, Faithful Mending out of the yard instead. And then Faithful Mending, Thought Scour, Surgical. Just trying to dump creatures into the yard. If anything, I might try to Surgical the Curator so that I can get in the air. Little, oh no, they have the flyers here too. Never mind. I need to Surgical the Fairy to only have 1 flyer. Angry old man with his fish and a squid over here. Oh, they don't do anything. All right, well, I'm just passing then. That might be best scenario for me, Faithful Mending here. They're just gonna hard cast something, aren't they? Foundation Breaker evoked. All right. There goes Chalice. This is for non-creature spells, by the way. All right, it's Faithful from the yard. Looks great to me. And some great cards. Oh, man. Game's getting really good. All right, so I want to leave up 1 blue here. I don't know. Do I just cast a Murktide into this? I think I do. Just like a nice flying Murktide here. Leave up a blue and a red here. Can bolt. Can use our angry hermit here. I'm feeling really good about this. Puts kind of like 2 threats plus the bolt equals lethal. Patty thefts. I think Thought Scouring them is aggressive. Thought Scour them and then they get more flyers, then this is probably not killing them. What if I just Thought Scour myself? The other thing possibly happening here is, you know what? I think I'm okay with this happening. And I'm going to probably bolt / surgical here. So I want to surgical. Wish this curator wasn't here. I'm going to get an ox back. What if I surgical curator here? I think I surgical curator because then Murktide could hit and then I can play lightning bolt. Let's see what else they have. Because this is done on their turn as well. Let's get a little tiny bit more information. I think this is the line. Oh, last god. Yeah, top decks are great. I mean, at this instant, I could attempt a Thought Scour myself to hit, like, more Phoenixes. Because I'm going to get Ox back, and Ox is going to draw me some cards. I kind of want just all... I don't want the Thought Scour in the yard, but Faithful and Hermit's fine. I mean, Hermit's a 2/2 flyer. So even if we miss Phoenix here, we're going to be okay. Look at all the Violent Outbursts. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. So their hand is a little bit of this. That's a lot. So we have a Force to avoid, but the Force can't be cast. We have a Brazen Borrower coming down. Okay. And I think I just bolt them here then. If I find another bolt or my Lava Dart, we're looking really good. So we'll take them to 1 here, and they're going to just get their stuff back. You went 4-0 at F&M with a perfect run of top decking cards I needed in game 2 and 3. Nice. All right, I hit a Flusterstorm. That would have been nice. Manamorphose is not bad. Thought Scour is not bad to have here. There's our Phoenix. Okay. I forgot I was going to lose Murktide, but we got them at 1. So how do we do this? We have 2 flyers here. I forgot that I lost the Murktide. I think I just have to look for my bolts here, right? Just find bolts. What's the best way to do that? Thought Scour first? Probably what? Manamorphose into Faithful? So I want to make red, white. Another Thought Scour. Faithful here, looking for a bolt or Lava Dart. I think I still have 1 Lava Dart. We missed, but we had a million Thought Scours. So Arc-like, Phoenix, Thought Scour. My opponent has Violent Outburst and Force Negation. I guess I can just fire off 2 Thought Scours here. Fire off 1 on me here first. Try to hit another Phoenix. Try to find the bolt. And they're Faithful. Let's go again here. All right. Well, I got Phoenix back. I don't think I need to block. I just attack. Fairy's got a block here. We got a force. We have a force of negation. I need the Flusterstorm to protect. I have an otherworldly here too that I can use. Can I otherworldly Faithful and then potentially? I might. They may try to force the Faithful Mending. Definitely blocking though. This one over here. Violent Outburst gives them what, +1/+0? I'm at 22. I felt pretty good here. We don't know what they drew. They have Force, Violent, 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 and Brazen Borrower right now. And they can't swing all out because Brazen Borrower technically can't block Ox. And if I don't have to block, then I don't have to. That's 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Actually, no, it looks like I have to block. 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, I have to block. Oh gosh. If they can bounce this, I'm dead. If they add 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 7 whales, not enough. Ooh, this is close. This is close. Yep. All right, they don't have red, but I'm obviously blocking here. I can also use Ox to go digging if it dies here. So we have like Faithful Mending, probably Ox, red. I guess I don't quite have that. This is interesting. Does this mean they don't have anything crazy here? They have to defend. 7, 10, 16, 17, 18, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, like, they don't play Manamorphose. I don't think I saw that. So if they don't attack with everything, do I don't... Do I have to block? What do you mean I have to? 7, 10... I don't know if I want the Ox dead. I'd have to find another red source, right? I guess if I find another red source, it gives me an out to doing that. So I'm going to start with what? Otherworldly? I don't have to. The question is, do I want the Ox for a draw of 3? I mean, if I'm doing that, I don't have the Flusterstorm, and I know my opponent has Force and Negation. So theoretically, I would need to hit... I think I want this down here as a just in case kind of card. What does Ox do for me? I don't have things that like pick these off, and my opponent can play a Brazen Borrow to block 1 Phoenix. I can cast Lava Dart twice. I could. I mean, I have this too, by the way. But I can't give it haste. I took out the velocity. All right, I don't have Lava Dart. I took those out, which makes sense. I didn't expect to put my opponent to 1. I have 29 cards. So let's go ahead and block here, making Ox a redraw, and I can fetch Shaka lands, and I'll get red. If I can use Faithful Mending and other things, basically we need to save blue-red, Bolt, Flusterstorm. That's what I think we need. So block here. Funny enough, I can't Murktide plus Faithful Mending plus Flusterstorm and have Bolt. Even though that's 5 mana, it's too many blue pips. All right, so we're at 11 here. We know they have a Brazen Borrower. They're obviously going to go after the Faithful Mending here. Another Flusterstorm. Okay. Phoenix would not because they have a flyer. Plus they have Brazen Borrower. So Otherworldly Gaze. I have to use... I would have to use blue and red here. If I wanted to gaze, I'd do it on upkeep. Well, I saw one card. You're seeing the card regardless. The Flusterstorm is probably not bad. I'm going to Otherworldly casting with red here. I'm not going to get to do the Ox. Ox draws 3. Otherworldly is going to draw 3 prior to the Faithful here. Why is everyone saying it had to happen in upkeep? I don't think so. I'm going to do it here. You're saying because I drew a dead card? Maybe I did. Is this spell 1? Remember, I can Faithful Mending some cards to the graveyard. That's our plan here. All right, so there's our Bolt. So Manamorphose, Consider. We're going to put the Bolt on top. So I need... Under the Bolt, I need a land. So if I have a Bolt under the land here, we have a chance. And it has to be something that gives me... something that gives me red mana. Ox can't be forced, but then I still need... Then you're leaving the force for the Bolt because you would ditch the Flusterstorms. This has to find land under the Bolt. Maybe the Otherworldly was correct. I do the Otherworldly and upkeep, get that Bolt, and then I have a double draw. So you're right. I would have a double draw. So if there's a red land underneath, 2 cards underneath. Now, if they don't go after this, then I can take a blue land, which I have a lot more of. The other thing that could happen here that would kind of screw us up completely is if they use force but ditch a blue card. We already know this is their hand here plus an unknown. So the other unknown card would have to be blue. If they did that, they'd be playing around Flusterstorm and we lose. One thing that could be underneath the Bolt that might do it is a Phoenix, maybe, depending on how this plays out. My opponent doesn't force, well, they'd have to force then the Bolt, but if they forced pitching blue, then the double Phoenix that I would have pitched here would get through. But they may need the Brazen Borrower, so this is a tough one right here for them too. I mean, it depends on our second card here, and I miss one draw by not doing the overworld thing before. So small learning opportunity. To me, they should force this. They should force this, and I'm getting to Flusterstorm the force, and now I'm forced to find the card. What are you thinking about? All right. Force, pitching force here. At storm count 3. I think they have enough here, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I think it's 4 mana, so they get to pay for the force, and they got us. Bummer. I mean, if you had the force like that, that's super easy. Bummer. Ah, well. It was a good game. It was a good game. Very close game. I'm going to go ahead and dig just to see what's below the bolt. We're going to go 2 cards deeper to see if it cost me. And I think it might have. It was super close. So we get the Phoenix back. Definitely going to go ahead and attack. Make sure they do block. They do. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. So the last card they drew was another force. It was close. Like I said, we'll draw 2 cards as long as Magic Online lets us. Close, close, close. I enjoyed it. All right. Bolts. Oh, come on, Magic Online. Oh, come on, Magic Online. We want to know. No, come on. I'm going to wait here for a moment. Let us draw the card. We need to know if it was underneath. We'll never know. I don't need to see the bolt, but I want to know what's underneath the bolt. I want to know what's under it. Move on. I'll move on. 3-1 here going into our final match here on League number 1 for the night. Quality program. I wanted to know if 2 down there was the card. I guess really it probably didn't matter because my opponent happened to have the force. Because I would have gotten the bolt. I would have had to consider there too. I wonder if we could have lined it up where then I could have flustered for enough. Because I had to consider the Faithful Mending. Overworld. We might have been able to get there if I did it on the upkeep. It's close. It's close. All right. Final match. Well, this hand looks great. This hand looks great. We'll keep this. This is one of the best hands of the night. Look at this fantastic hand. Who doesn't love this hand? All right, little steam vents here. Monkey? Psh, monkey. Monkey. I don't want my monkey opponent to just have a counter spell, so we'll go ahead and get rid of it here. Extra monkey. All right. Let's make red white here. Let's get a hallowed fountain. Okay, and we will make red blue. Consider here and see if I can find a bolt. If I would have made white. Let's put it in the graveyard. All right. Otherworldly and upkeep. Leave consider and bolt. Draw consider. Cast consider. If they counter, then we mending and have lethal. If we don't, we draw bolt and fluster wins. There it is. Grayus has found it. I figured there was some line in there. I just didn't play it right. Expressive iteration. That's not complicated at all. Nope, not at all. I bet with a little more practice, we'll have that line down. All right, Darcy here. Darcy it is. Top deck of Thought Scour. I'd like to make Murktide bigger than it is, but I think I'm just going to be happy with a Murktide of 7. Your move, opponent. Your move. I like this list a lot. I don't know about the Dream Twist or a few of the other weird flashback cards, but if there was a Murktide list that I would play, it would be this one. Because I do like Phoenix as well. It's a lot of complicated lines. You could probably play this for a long time and be pretty satisfied with it. Go get your cards now before they spike. Bolts Murktide once. And Unholy Heats it. Wow. Wow. All right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Guess we'll have to get another Murktide here in a second. If I would have been able to make it a little bit larger. Get wrecked? I don't think I'm getting wrecked. What are you talking about? I have another one. All you gotta do is draw a land. Then we'll Dream Twist. What we got? Fetch land. We're at it again. I hate the idea of having to have Unholy Heat as one of the removals in Red Prison, but maybe it's a thing I gotta consider. I don't know. All right, let's make what? Blue here. Go crazy Thought Scour myself. That's good. That's good. Thought Scour myself once. There's an Ox. There's a Manamorphose. You know what? It's not every day you get to go storming off, shocking yourself, making the end of the world happen for you. Blue-white here. There's a Phoenix. Show me more. I got a blocker. All right, I got a blocker here. I got a bolt to kill something. I don't know if I need to maximize velocity yet, but we'll see. Give something haste, +1/+1, and has jumpstart. All right, they had the Unholy Heat, so they're gonna blow up whatever, so works for me. Definitely gonna bolt Darcy. Jumpstart allows you to cast a card by discarding a card in addition to paying, so it's like a flashback sort of thing. It's like a flashback, but you have to discard. So it's flashback, discard. Esque. All right, we're at 5. I might be just dead. I could very well just be dead. Yeah, it's kind of like worse retrace, yeah. Whoa. Archmage Charm, counter. Well, I can't really go to 5 here. Or sorry, 3. So I'm going to play a big Murky Boy. 10, 11. Bolt, Metamorphose, Prismatic, Thought Scour. I have a win here, don't I? The first thing I cast was Bolt. Now I just maximize and jumpstart it, right? No, I can't jumpstart it. 9. If this was Lava Dart, we would win here. Need more mana. So I guess I'm blocking here. And hoping they don't have Bolt. Yeah. I win if I can block and they don't have exactly Bolt here. So there's a land. That's a good thing. They attack. And hope they don't get Bolt off me here. Maybe I should be blocking the Ragavan. Alright. Didn't hurt me too much. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I guess the 3 versus 2 damage doesn't matter here. Your mind mentally goes, block the thing that's the most expensive. Yeah, Ragavan block is correct. If I was going to 4 off Ragavan, maybe so. Wow, Big Murky. Big Murky. That's a problem. New Darcy. Opponent could have Prismari Command. They could. That's a thing. All right, so I can create a blocker by using Arclight Phoenix from the yard if I cast enough things here. The Murktide's obviously the Murktide. If there's any way for me to make my Murktide large enough and get rid of their Darcy, I can at least do that. All right, they're using Otherworldly Gaze. We're going to see what happens here. The Ox can, my Faithful Mendings can. There's a few things that can grow it. What we could do is potentially line up where I have Ox and the Phoenix coming back, maximize velocity here too. I'd have to draw a land to do that. My opponent only put 1 card in the graveyard off of this. There's an Arclight Phoenix number 2. Okay. If I were to Ox here, I need 8 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I like Thought Scour myself here? Then I can Ox. I have to maximize, so I have to Thought Scour like here. Puts 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, jumpstarting grows it twice. Drain Twist plus Ox and Velocity. I'm going to lose Phoenixes by doing that. I mean, I think Dream Twist is probably the correct... Oh, I guess you're right. Dream Twist is more. velocity after. Let's try it. Well, we'll see what we mill here. Faithful Mending. So now I can ox 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can leave Phoenix here. One spell's been played. I could scour them because they put things on top. They did do something on top here. I'm gonna need a land, right? I'm gonna thought scour my opponent. There's the bolt. I have another Phoenix here now. And now I can ox. Let's get rid of big things. So thought scour, scalding consider, Murktide. So 4 more. Faithful. Dream Twist. Otherworldly or Faithful? I guess Otherworldly. And see if I can hit a land here for the maximize velocity. So that's a 14/14, so that's lethal. Obviously they have blockers. We get some Phoenixes back in the yard. Wow, I didn't hit anything. So I do not get to kill here. We pass turn, and I have to block. And I have to block the Murktide, and I have to... No, I'm dead here. Because the Dragon Rage grew. Yeah. I mean, this was still probably a reasonably correct line. My opponent had Bolt on top. They had kept it on top. So we lose if we don't Thought Scour there. So we needed land there to maximize. We maximize here. We can attack or something like that. But then I have a bunch of Phoenixes to block with. And that's what we were trying to get to give us one more turn. Then we can Prismatic here, Bolt here, Thought Scour, and then we'd have all the Phoenixes. Oh, close. Very close. All right, Chalices potentially in. We'll think about them. Definitely Path, though. Lava Dart seems reasonable. Yep, lines all played out the same, but definitely very close. Very close. It's a tough one. All right. So as cute as Maximize is, I don't think it is. I'm considering Chalice. Their deck is almost all 1-drops too. And we can cut a lot of our 1-drops. It's just something to consider. Just something to consider. Not saying we're going to do it. Remember, we can play like this side of our stuff. And then if we have a Murktide, our Murktide is almost certainly going to be larger. Plus, if we do the Chalices here, we don't bring in Lava Dart. We take out maybe like Maximize, Otherworldly, Dream Twist, and probably like another Otherworldly or like a Consider or something. Like you cut this and bring Chalices in, then you could have a Chalice on one. Yeah, it ruins your bolts and stuff, but you can still multiple spell for Arclight. Like, I think it's fine to consider. I know a lot of people will go, you know, hey, that's a dumb idea. It's a non-bow, but our stream's going all right. Trying to get it done with Phoenix. All right. Let's see how this works out for us. Trying to get the Phoenixes rolling here in Modern. We've had very close matches here at the end of this league. Support all the Phoenix action, yeah. I think we could have won the last match too. It was close. All right, there's Darcy. Our best friend Darcy. Let's go ahead and Prismatic. Pass turn. I don't know if I Thought Scour here or if I wait because I have the Manamorphose. Manamorphose, Thought Scour, and Prismatic are things I can do. My opponent may be dashing in a monkey here. Nope. All right. Wow. In that case, I think I'm going to go ahead and just Thought Scour myself. Let's not worry about trying to line it up. It wasn't going to line up anyway, it looks like. Okay. Let's get this Sacred Foundry. Kind of down for doing blue-white here. See what else we can hit. Faithful Mending. It's a path. I like that. I don't feel like I need this Consider. Let's go ahead and Prismatic Ending one of these. Okay. No Phoenixes so far. We got a Murktide we're going to probably play next turn. We got a path to protect from something big. Just a Dragon Rage. We're at 16, looking healthy, healthy, healthy. This might be a 3-3 Darcy in a second. There's a Murktide, expressive Thought Scour. Darcy is indeed bigger. All right, let's make a big Murktide. Prismatic. Oops. Prismatic, Consider, Manamorphose, Thought Scour, double blue. I think it's fine to use everything we've got there. We don't have another Murktide. Got a Faithful Mending that I'm going to probably flash back after pathing here or their own Murktide. We know they have Archmage Charm. Ooh, Mystical Dispute. That's a good one. Okay. No pay. No pay. Mystical Dispute's a good way to get rid of Murktide when we're like using all of our mana to get it out. Do I take 3 here? I'm going to take the 3. I'm afraid of a big Murktide. Well, I need to remember how many white sources I actually have in this list sometimes. Sometimes I need to remember how many white sources I have. I was going for another hallowed fountain, which I thought I had, and I did not, so I'm not able to play the path here. I could have tapped differently, thinking that I was safe, but we played it like I had another hallowed fountain. I'm guessing the list only has one, but I've made that mistake twice now. One sacred, one hallowed fountain. All right. Flashes in a brazen borrower. Well, we might be dead here. That'll be on me if we're dead. 6 damage. I go to 5 here. 2 flyers. Thought Scours. Mystical Dispute, Ragavan Relic. It's Faithful Mending here. And Otherworldly. This will give us our 3rd spell, so I have Phoenix to block. Well, I like all of that. Just take one of them. Just take one. But I do like that. I can Prismatic the Brazen Borrower if I want to. Saying they can like kill Phoenix and get in with Brazen Borrower here. And then I could attempt to cast a Murktide. So there goes Phoenix. Bolts me. 1 card in hand. Brazen Borrower. No monkey, no monkey, no monkey, no monkey, please. Please, please, please. I'm going to 1. Going to 1. They have like maybe Archmage Charm here. Oh, they found the other bolt. They found the other bolt. That was a lot of bolts there. That was a lot of 2 bolts. It's pretty good. Pretty good. 3-2. 3-2. Close one match 4. 5th one got away from us. 5th one being a little bit closer to the miracle, and we'll take some practice. But not bad. I'm going to run this one right back. Don't go anywhere. Let's wrap up with a few thoughts for YouTube. Does white give you enough? I think white makes the deck a lot more complex. You saw a few times where I went and was looking for a second hollow fountain. I don't have that. I probably don't need it. I just need to be mindful of how many white sources I really do have. So let's be mindful of that. The flashbacks are very interesting. Radical idea, maximize velocity. We have a dream twist in here and otherworldly gaze. All of these grow Murktide. So Murktide's fairly powerful in this list. Really enjoying the Ox as well as a way to grow Murktide. So that's pretty sweet little combination there. Sideboard felt pretty clean. Targeted the stuff we needed to. Overall, very happy with the list. We'll take some practice. Let's run it back. First, we'll cut it here for YouTube.